Nice restart by that 15-year-old Cole Custer there. You see a lot of the speedy dry on this racetrack.
Move to the inside, that 34 of Kinsey Ruston trying to make some moves as Kwasniewski goes around, battling for the lead with Cole Custer. He slides and's up against the wall. Oh, and more contact. Hard contact from the inside.
Wow, the two of Ryan Gifford made significant contact. It looked like Dillon had never locked the brakes down. He was creeping down. You see Brandon Jones in the 33 car, among other cars involved. But it looked like he was creeping down off the wall, and I'm not sure these guys thought he was going to come down off the wall.
Ryan Gifford, a lot of damage to the front end of that race car. You see the 98 of Dylan Kwasniewski destroyed. The window net is down. That's always a great sign when we see that.
Yeah, it certainly is. You can see him moving around in the car. We talked about somebody making a move on him in the points, and that's not how anyone wanted to make a move on him.
Points leader Dylan Kwasniewski involved in this accident happening on lap 34.
Good to see Ryan Gifford. That was an awfully hard impact for Ryan Gifford. Good to see him out of his car as well.
You know, Ben Kennedy got a little piece of this. Brian Ortiz also involved.
There's Ben Kennedy's Chevrolet right there. You see him moving around in the car also.
Rafael Villena also involved in this incident in the 0 car.
We haven't seen much impact like that in quite a while here in this series. See Dillon walking a little gingerly there, and
you see Ryan Gifford came over to make sure he was okay.
I would dare say that's probably the hardest hit that young man has ever had in his career.
Yeah, just 18 years old out of Las Vegas, Nevada. Dylan Kwasniewski, our points leader, and you see the frustration now. It looked as though he had that thing safe, barely made contact with the wall, but as you mentioned, let it come down the racetrack.
Let's take another look at it. You see he's on the inside. Cole Custer doing nothing wrong. He made just a slight bit of contact, and it looked like when it did, it turned his car to the left, and around he went here. You see him have the brakes locked down. He's going to make slight contact with the outside wall, and then it looks like he lets off the brakes for an instant, and it just didn't leave enough room for Ryan Gifford in the 2 car and the 96 of Ben Kennedy.
You know, Phil, in Dillon's defense, I mean, the caution had come out when he was sideways like this. These guys need to be checking up.
You see Cale Conley drive around here. You see now Jesse Little's going to turn. They were just jammed up there, and it looked like the two, doesn't look like the two even knew that he was up there. And at the last instant, he tried to turn down underneath him. Let's see if we can see it again. You see the two is about 10, 12 cars back. This is actually an aftermath. This is going on at the same time, a separate incident.
Yeah, as that happened coming out of 2, the incident back in the middle of 1 and 2 taking place. So a lot of drivers involved in this accident, which took place on lap 34.
You know, the secondary accident could have been because somebody had their spotter tell them that there was something going on off of 2, and somebody may have jumped out of the throttle, and that may have caused that secondary incident.
So they're going to take the destroyed number 98 back into the pit area. While they do that, let's head back into the garage and Derek Cornesiglio.
Ryan Gifford was one of the drivers that was involved in that hard wreck on the back straightaway. But from your point of view, can you tell us what happened?
Everything happened kind of quick. You know, everybody kind of spun there off the corner, and I didn't see what happened beforehand, but I guess Dillon was sitting there sideways in the middle of the straightaway, and I hit him. But definitely one of the hardest wrecks I've had, and I just hate it for the guys because we had a really good car today. Had to start from the rear, and was making good progress getting up through there, and then got in the big one.
Unfortunately, Ryan Gifford's day is done, guys.
We saw Kinsey Ruston also that had spun. She was on the inside before there was contact between Ryan Gifford, Ben Kennedy, and Dylan Kwasniewski.
And, of course, the mandatory trip to the infield care center for both Ryan Gifford and Dylan Kwasniewski. Kwasniewski also out of that infield care center, and he's now with Derek.
Well, Dylan Kwasniewski was involved in that heavy wreck on the back straightaway. Dylan, a hard shot. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. You know, it's just a disappointing day. It just sucks. I mean, we had a 40-point leads going into this. Now, you know, it's going to get all screwed up. I don't know how it happened. You know, we had it saved, and then we got T-boned. So, I mean, it's just one of those things. We had a race-winning car. You know, just thanks to everyone at Turner Scott Motorsports, but it's just a disappointing day. Can't do anything about it.
You had a comfortable lead going into this race, but how will this finish affect your championship run?
We just got to keep doing what we're doing. I mean, you know, we were comfortable before, but we got to go in there and we got to give it our all now. I mean, we can't, you know, going into this, we didn't want to take any chances. And I saw an opening, tried going in there, and then we ended up just, you know, we got spun out. and then we got wrecked. I mean, I haven't seen the replay, so I don't know if it was just my fault from diving in there, but I'm just disappointed in myself for letting that happen.
Well, guys, it's a real tough day for Dylan Kwasniewski. You can hear the frustration in his voice.
Thanks, Derek. Dylan Kwasniewski, as he mentioned, coming in with a 40-point lead in this championship hunt. Now with just 2 races remaining, we'll find out what will end up being that point lead when he leaves here.
Well, the door is open for his competitors now, unfortunately.
North American Power 100 continues in just a moment.